Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Anonymous, and here is her story. Hi, Ollie. I'd like to remain anonymous. I've been watching your videos for some time now, and they have been very helpful to me as I've gone through my own journey of suspecting my family are narcissists and also becoming estranged from them. I have no actual proof my family are on the cluster B personality disorder spectrum. All I have is the way they have treated me and how they have made me feel. Their side is saying I am manipulative and I have disrespected my mom. Do they explain how? See, disagreeing with the narcissist and not giving them their way in their eyes is disrespect. So you can't win. I mean, it's an argument you can't win because they fuck with the language. I'll try not to make this too long for you, while also trying to give enough details as possible in the hopes you can determine if I am right to suspect my family, particularly my mom, of being a narcissist. I did not even know what NPD was until a friend suggested it as a possibility after I already estranged myself from my mom and other family after a great betrayal and letdown from them almost 2 years ago. I want to also start by saying my life growing up was confusing because I was told how lucky I was. Oh, here we go. See, and this is a tactic they use. As they're beating you, they're telling you how lucky you are, how fortunate you are, how you got it better than everyone else, how you're a spoiled brat compared to what... This is what they'll tell you. They'll tell you you're spoiled as they're abusing you. It just... And when you're a child... Like, again, this is where the thinking comes in our heads. There's something wrong with me that everyone else can see that I can't. I'm spoiled. Why am I not seeing this? I want to also start by saying my life growing up was confusing because I was told how lucky I was, how spoiled I was, and certainly from the outside it looked like a normal family. Though my mom often got sympathy from others by telling them what difficult children we were. My mother would do as many compliments as she got about me out in public. When she was on that phone or when I wasn't around, all she did was badmouth me, say what a problem I was, what a liar I was, what a troublemaker I was at home. How all their marital problems are my fault. I mean, she not only told me this, she would say this to her friends. To give a bit more background to it all, I never truly felt understood by my family. Oh, you were understood. They were trying to crush what you were. They understand you. They understand you. They fear it. I feel I was emotionally neglected throughout my childhood and beyond. My mom never told us she loved us, though she did seem to favor my siblings over me some of the time. This became more apparent as the older we got. My mother never told me she loved me. I asked her once when I was a little kid. I called her into my room and I asked her and she said, "Don't you ever fucking bother me with this bullshit again." My mother would only say she loved you when she wanted something, when she was crying, when she was mad, when she was trying to manipulate you. That's it. Those words never have come out of my father's mouth. Ever. I never heard him say it to my mother. He never said it to me or my brother. She never said it to him. I mean, it's just a loveless place where we were. Except for the love they had of them for themselves. Looking back, I felt I was the black sheep. I was a very sensitive child with a lot of empathy. I attracted friends who would bully me. I had no self-esteem growing up and no confidence. Well, how can you? Of course you're going to attract friends who bully you. You have a family that bullies you. You didn't know how to have a normal relationship. By around age 9, I was suicidal and could not tell anyone how I was feeling. I first attempted suicide at age 14. My family punished me for this by grounding me and being mad at me and making me feel ashamed over it. Again, in the 4th grade, the child study team was brought in for whatever reason. We're talking to me for 3 days, and it came out of it, your son's going to end up killing himself. Not that they told him I was going to be suicidal. And then my mother just got pity from her friends off that. They changed my class that I was in because I didn't have any friends in there. I was being bullied. Just couldn't get a break as a kid, man. I just couldn't ever. My whole life I felt deeply alone and sad. Well, that's why we isolate and we become comfortable being alone. By age 16, I moved out of the family home and into a woman's hostel. Shortly after this, I was raped by a man I met on a few occasions through a woman who lived in the hostel. This rape traumatized me and I developed PTSD. I was driven by this man to a rural, wooded location. He dragged me from the car while threatening me repeatedly that he would have to kill me if I didn't shut up and do what he said. I believed I was going to die at his hands. It was too terrifying beyond words. After it all, and me convincing him I wouldn't tell anyone he decided to take me home. Sadly, I didn't feel able to turn to my family, and the only person willing to take me to police was this guy's friend. She acted as though she was for my best interest, but now I suspect otherwise. Anyway, after reporting it to the police that morning, I couldn't take it any further. I was scared. I was only 16 and had no real support. My life was changed forever, though. 2 months later, I went back to the police. I still had no support, but I knew it was the right thing to do. They could not charge him. Several years went by, and I asked police if they could investigate again, but it still resulted in no charge. The more time, it's the less chance you have that anything's going to happen. I also, in the end, told my mom about the rape via text, but when it came to speaking over the phone about it, I cried uncontrollably and asked to never be brought up again. She never did. But over the next few years, she made comments that felt directed at me, comments about rape that felt like she was having a cruel dig at me. It would certainly not be the first time she had been cruel to me. A few more years passed, and I had tried again to have my case prosecuted. This time, police wanted to speak with my mom. I felt very apprehensive about that when they insisted I gave her email address, and I'm sure she's not going to be of any help. She did not reply to the detective. So I asked my mom why she ignored the detective, and she said she thought the email was spam and deleted it. I asked the detective to resend the email. Again, my mom ignored it. I again asked my mom to respond. Still, she wouldn't. So in the last attempt, I emailed my mom reminding her of the rape, and I told her about several years before and to please respond to police because it was very important to me. She did not reply to me. She had been online because she was on Skype with my young son the next day. After 3 days and no response from her, I was devastated. My fears she was intentionally ignoring police and my trauma felt confirmed. I sent her one last email. That time I was very angry and told her what a horrible mom she was a horrible mom and never to contact me again. I have not heard from her since, almost 2 years now. They always wanted you gone. But shortly after sending that email to my mom, I decided now it's out there and I've been more open about the rape. I would email all the family and let them know why I cut mom out of my life. She could not tell them a different story like I caught her doing in the past. All my siblings ignored my emails. They ignored I was raped. When I made some contact with them on Skype, they told me I had been horrible to their mom, They also told me I was manipulative. More recently, a friend of mine spoke with one of my sisters over the phone. I live abroad from them all. My sister admitted they all believed I got police to contact my mom because I wanted to manipulate my mom to get her to move where I lived. This was not true. I had also forwarded all the emails from police to show them I had not wanted police to contact my mom. My sister repeatedly told my friend I have disrespected her mom. Disrespect. Challenging the narcissist is disrespect in their eyes, and that's the problem. Narcissists don't understand what disrespect is. My mom moved to where I live several years ago, but moved back before the last police investigation. My sister said I manipulated my mom to move here the first time. My family wanted to remain in contact via Skype with my son. I have refused them this opportunity for about a year now. Am I right? Am I making the right decision to deny them contact to my son? Yeah. Yeah. Why? So they can turn him against you? Because that's what they're going to do. This is how the narcissistic family dynamic works. And they obviously, and they surround the main narc, and they protect the source, like good little worker bees they are. And do you think I'm correct for thinking my family are narcissists? Seems that way. Before all this, I always dreamed of my family one day getting me and having a true connection together with love and support. They don't want to get you. They get you. They get you. They just gaslight you. They get you because they know exactly how to hold you down, to hold you back. That doesn't come from a lack of understanding. That comes from a complete understanding to know exactly how to sabotage you. I am family oriented. I am now in mourning over the family I don't have and never truly had. But what about the family? What about your son? What about the family you do have? Focus on the family you have right now. The family you chose. Not the family you were born into that you had no choice of being a part of. You still have family. You still have your child. I'm assuming, I don't know what your marital situation is right now, but you're not alone. And you don't need these vampires to make for happiness. Losing my family over the worst thing that happened to me was traumatizing too. Of course it is. But the narcissist, again, never misses an opportunity to use something against you. They never miss that opportunity. And again, in your family, it's all based around this fucking illusion of respect. And any calling out of the narcissist, any trying to stand up for yourself is disrespect to the narcissist. And that's bullshit. You go through life believing that. It is. What about the disrespect they've shown you your entire life? That's meaningless, right? That doesn't count. Because you're lower than them. They're on their high horse. You're at the bottom rung of the ladder. That's where you belong. And anything that deviates from that, if you want anything that deviates from that, then you're disrespectful. Where do I go from here? Some days I feel better than others. My PTSD from my previous trauma is being managed now by medication, though I still think about the rape every day. I now also think of this family betrayal every day. Sometimes I wonder if what they did was my fault, or I misunderstood them somehow. I guess I've always been plagued with self-doubt. Yeah, obviously. Stop worrying about them. Focus on yourself. Focus on the family you have. Why I've always felt so alone and unsupported by family and friends? Because you have been. If your family can't support you after you've been raped, when are they? That's the reality. You've been unsupported by your family and friends, period. Period. It's not a question. I have always been unsupported and alone by my family and friends. Not why have. I felt so worthless at times, which is what they wanted. To give another example, the person who raped me confessed to some people and they all refused to testify. My previous best friend also refused to make a statement about what she knew. This was after one of her friends started a relationship with the guy who raped me. But people know what he did and they don't care. It feels like it's because I don't matter. Me too, though, right? Me too, all women. Like, women just... Now here's a woman claiming she was raped. Okay? And who's not believing her? Other women. Her female friends. Her mother. Because women hate women. I am fortunate I moved abroad several years ago and no longer have a fear of running into him or those who have supported him. But I could not run from my thoughts and all the memories. I am haunted by it. I am haunted by all of it on a daily basis and struggle with the feeling of worthlessness. I do, however, have a very close and functional relationship with my son. I feel my mom taught me how not to be as a parent. Thank you for taking the time to read this, and thank you for the videos you make. They have helped me a lot during this struggle and dilemma. You have to get out of your mind this idea that you're disrespectful. Standing up to the narcissist is not disrespect. Period. Never has been, never will be. They just want you to think that. And that's how they've conditioned you your entire life. Focus on your son, because that's what's important. Thank you so much for your contribution and your story. I really appreciate it. Hope this helped. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from you guys. Without you, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance.